Hello, good afternoon. Just thought I'd quickly pop on and tell you about a new product that I've got into stock and explain a bit about it. It's called Transition. It's back to front, of course, isn't it? Called Transition from Fusion Mineral Paint. Used to be called, Colour Block, and it used to be called Concealer. Hello, Christine. Can't wait to meet you on the 3rd of September. So I'm just talking about this new product from Fusion called Transition. So it's just come into stock in the UK. We've been waiting for it for ages. What's really good about this is it's made from recycled Fusion paint, the pigments and the paint that, you know, the waste products from Fusion, and it's half the price of the normal paint. Hello, Shona. It's half the price of the normal paint. So the purpose of this is to save you coats of paint when you're going from either really dark to really light. So say you're painting something in mahogany and you were painting it white, or the other way around, it was something white and you wanted to paint it black. This is to save you coats of paint. So a lot of people, what they do is they will use a primer. Well, primers are pretty toxic. If you want to use, you're using Fusion mineral paint because it's, zero VOC and it's made with natural pigments and all that type of thing. And then you kind of undo that because you're going to use a primer. So only use a primer when you have to. So this is not a primer. It will not block bleed through. So if for bleed through, you still need to use the shellac based primer from Zinza. It's the only one that we recommend. So you still need to use that. So what this will do is just saves you coats of paint. So if you were going from something really dark to really light, and you might end up having to use something like 3 or 4 coats of paint, then this is the product for you, and this is what will save you money, and it's not toxic. So some of the whites, especially the bright whites like picket fence or casement, don't have the same hiding qualities as colours such as ash, because to keep their brightness and their whiteness, they just can't fill it up with they're not in a murky base, it's in a clear base, and so they need more coats of paint. So Transition, it doesn't have the same excellent adhesion qualities that Fusion general paint has. So the idea is that if you're going to use Ultra Grip or use your first coat of paint, then instead of using 2 or 3 coats of more casement or picket fence or whatever, you could use a couple of coats of this. It has to be sandwiched in between 2 Fusion products. So that's either 2 coats of paint or Ultra Grip and your Fusion colour. So that's it. So it's £10.99. So that is a big saving. That's half the price, because I know we get a bit I'm the same. I've been scraping off my rollers when I was painting today, because it's amazing how much paint they hold, and you just want to save every drop. So this is a great product for that. It's sort of one of those things that you need to just keep in your stash. When you put a coat of paint on anything, this is going to take loads of colours, loads of coats to cover. So would it work on black leather to bring it up to a lighter colour? Yeah, but I would still use, if you're going to paint leather, I would still use 1 coat of Fusion, 1 coat of this, then your other coat of your normal Fusion. Yes, so yeah, exactly that. Because with black leather, if you're going to paint it a really light colour, that could take 2 or 3 coats. So my tip to you as well, Roxanne, is if you're painting leather, check it hasn't been waxed. So I would clean it just to be sure with white spirit, just to make sure that it hasn't got any wax. Well, even if it's not waxed, it would have just the grease from hands or silicone from polishes. So clean it with white spirit, rinse that off. You can even give it a little tiny scuff sand, and then use your Fusion. So first coat of normal, then maybe Transition, and then another coat of your colour. So if you think it's going to save some coats of paint, because to go from black to a really light colour is hard. So that's all I wanted to tell you, is that Transition is in stock. Used to be called Concealer. They actually stopped making it because there was so much confusion. People thought that it was a primer, and then obviously people start to complain because they think it's a primer and then it doesn't block bleed through. It's literally, as it sounds, just a Transition. It's just to help you save some paint. So that's it. That was it really, and it looks like if any of you are coming to the conference, it looks like we've got a spare ticket. I'm not sure how much longer we can keep refunding and reselling tickets, because I have actually sent off all the last final details to the conference centre. So I'm not sure, but if there's anybody out there that wants a ticket, contact me, because it looks like we have one more ticket. Yeah, just when I think I'm done, then another one comes on. Just when I think I'm done, it's on and on and on. So anyway, you can't tell, but I'm actually sitting here leaning on 8 Tesco crates, full up with freebies. We have got some amazing stuff lined up for you, and loads and loads of product. I don't even know how we're going to squash it all in, but it'll be fine. It will be fine. So anyway, I just want to tell you that about Transition. It's in stock now. If you want it, or you've got any questions, ask me, and I will try my best to answer them. They do have, they have got quite a lot of instructions now on the sides of the Fusion pots now. And if you're noticing that all these labels are a bit crinkly, yes, they are. They're temporary labels. There's so many issues with stock in production. So poor old Fusion, they can't get the usual labels, so they're having to use a different one, and they're not as good, but it's only temporary. To be honest, I don't care, as long as what's inside it works, and it doesn't stop me from getting my paint. I'm quite happy to have a dodgy label on it. So it was just to tell you that as well. Anyway, hello Orla. And Orla orders paint from me, don't you, Orla? I recognise your name. So no questions. If there are, message me or comment below. Anyway, some of you, so I haven't been as active on here as I normally am because of all this admin and stuff for the conference, but you'll probably get sick of me again in about a month's time when I've recovered. Anyway, so if I don't see you before, you do, don't you? I recognise your name. It's a lovely name, Orla. If I don't see you before, I'll be seeing you for Cocktails on the Terrace, Friday the 3rd of September. Woo!